I had a pretty humble, rural South Island upbringing. We didn't have a lot, but my mum, she worked really hard so that we could get ahead, even taking on a second job when things got tough. I learned from my mum how important it is to work hard. So when I was 13, I started working hard too. I worked for more than a dozen farmers on the weekends and in the school holidays, roguing paddocks and working on potato harvesters. I also worked as a waiter. Those jobs gave me my start in life and taught me the importance of a good work ethic.
Can I just acknowledge Blair and say thank you, Blair, for what you're doing, and thank you for stepping up. I actually got to know Blair back in late 2020 when I first got elected to Parliament, and he was coming home from overseas. And I can tell you, you've actually got a great candidate here, because here's a boy from Methven, Canterbury. He ended up getting a place at Brown University and then into Princeton University in the US. I've lived in America for 6 to 8 years, and I can tell you it's very hard to get into those places. You've got to be smart and you've got to be good, and he clearly is. And then he worked at the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank in Washington. Again, two really big organisations that require big brains and good leadership skill.
In 2017, I was offered a job at the World Bank. My team's work was entirely focused on delivery. That is, how do you ensure that governments actually deliver results? How do you improve the performance of the public sector? How do you actually get stuff done?
It is awesome to have him selected as our candidate here in Nelson, and I think he's got the right sort of skills and the right sort of intellect that will actually serve us really well in the government as he thinks about the issues that we face in New Zealand over the next 30 years.
I arrived back in New Zealand in March of 2020. Like many New Zealanders who'd been working overseas, when the pandemic hit, I decided it was time to come home. For the first time in many years, I'm living just a short drive from Mum's house. So it's been pretty special for me to be living close to family again. I love Nelson, and it's great to be calling this awesome city home.